Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will share with you 30 ChatGPT tips to make your experience with this large language model much more enjoyable. So whether you're a ChatGPT expert or whether you're a novice, you're gonna get a lot of value from this video. With that being said, please like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of these videos. So my first tip for you is to divide your large prompts into a smaller sections, because when you provide ChatGPT or any other large language model with a large prompt, they're more likely to forget the details and they're more likely to make mistakes. So the best approach is to divide your prompts into a smaller sections, provide those smaller sections to the large language models and fix the errors when they happen and iterate upon your prompts as you go. Divide and conquer. Second tip is to use personas in your prompts. You can ask ChatGPT or any other large language model to act like a specific person. For instance, let's say you are an IT expert and you want to write a report for one of your clients. Instead of just asking ChatGPT to write a report for you, you can ask it to write a report as an IT consultant who works in this specific field and is providing a report for the X, Y, and Z company. And this enables you to provide a more customized message to your clients, and also it avoids generic statements and general responses. The third tip is to rename your conversations with ChatGPT. It helps with the organization, but it also helps you when you're asking similar questions in the future. Let's say you had a long conversation with ChatGPT regarding your fitness goals. Next time you want to ask a fitness question, instead of starting a new conversation, you can go back to the same conversation, and this enables you to reference your previous conversations and use them as context to augment the future responses of ChatGPT. Also, I would recommend you to delete many of your conversation histories with ChatGPT that you do not find necessary. It really helps with the organization. Tip number 4 is to be detailed and at the same time use natural language when prompting ChatGPT. So you do not need to be sophisticated. You do not need to use great grammar, great spelling, and great punctuation. What you need to do is to be detailed. The more details you're going to provide, the better responses are going to be. So don't be shy on details, but be careful to not be too much fluffy. So cut the fluffs, add more details. Tip number 5 is to use the incognito mode or the temporary chat function. Usually when you're having a conversation with ChatGPT, the model is aware of your previous conversations and hence might provide you with the response you want to hear because it's biased based on the previous conversations you had. In order to avoid this, you need to use the incognito mode, and also the incognito mode is going to help with the privacy. So if you want to ask a question and you do not want to save it in the history, ask it in the incognito mode. Also, if you want to ask a question and you do not want the response to impact the future responses you're going to get from ChatGPT, also feel free to use the incognito mode. Tip number 6 is to provide custom instructions. These instructions are going to be applied to all of your conversations with ChatGPT. You can tell ChatGPT who you are, where do you work, and you can also tell ChatGPT what you want your answers to look like. If you require a specific output from ChatGPT and you want those output to be applied to all of your conversations, you can let the ChatGPT know. I would say that if you work in a specific industry and if you have a specific requirements, you can also let ChatGPT know of those requirements. This eliminates the need for you to let ChatGPT know who you are, what are your requirements, and what are your goals in every prompt you provide. So it's going to save you a lot of time. Tip number 7 is my favorite tip, and it is to clear ChatGPT's history from time to time. So whenever you're having a conversation with ChatGPT, it stores your information, it stores your conversations, it stores your intentions, and this might be helpful because it can guide their future conversations. But at the same time, if you're having too many conversations or your conversations have conflicting information, it might negatively impact your future conversations with ChatGPT. And in order to prevent that, from time to time, go to the personalization section and delete the ChatGPT's history, and you don't want to do that too often. But from time to time, if the response quality is going down, definitely do this. Tip number 8 is not a huge tip, but it can help you personalize ChatGPT for yourself. So when you're using ChatGPT, you can get responses as text, or you can get voice responses. And if you would like to, you can customize that voice response. So if you go to the personalization and if you go to the voice section, there are a number of voices you can choose from. As I mentioned, it's not going to make a huge difference, but sometimes if you like a certain voice, you can use that voice and it might make ChatGPT more personalized towards your interests. Tip number 9 is to turn off improve for everyone. As we touched upon earlier, whenever you are having a conversation with ChatGPT, it stores your conversation and sometimes it uses this data during training to improve itself. So if you're working with sensitive data and you do not want this data to be shared with anybody else, you can turn off improve for everyone. In order to do that, go to the personalization section, go to the data and turn off improve for everyone. This is very important if you want to use ChatGPT, but you have sensitive data and at the same time you want to enjoy this app which is not local to your device. Tip number 10, which I believe is one of the greatest tips in this video, is to connect your apps to ChatGPT. You can connect your Google Drive to ChatGPT, and so whenever you're having a conversation with ChatGPT regarding a specific file, ChatGPT can use your Google Drive and it can get that file and work on it. And in order to do that, you can go to settings and then you can go to the connected app sections and then you can easily connect your apps. Also, I would recommend you to provide detailed description for any of the apps you connect to your ChatGPT and also structure them in a meaningful manner and put them in specific folders. These structures and descriptions are going to help ChatGPT use the right tool when it's appropriate. Tip number 11 is to enable all of the ChatGPT capabilities. ChatGPT is capable of many things, but many of us just use a few of those capabilities. In order to enable full power of ChatGPT, go to the customized ChatGPT section and at the end of the web page, click on activate browsing so that ChatGPT can browse the internet. Click on DALL-E so that ChatGPT can produce images for you, and also click on coding so ChatGPT can produce computer program for you. Also at the end of the page, make sure to click on apply to all new chats so you do not need to manually redo this process for all of your new conversations with ChatGPT. Tip number 12 is to ask ChatGPT to provide you with a specific format when it comes to the output. So instead of just giving you a random response, you can ask the ChatGPT to provide you with a table, you can ask it to provide you with a list, or sometimes you want to ask it to provide you with a ranking instead of just an output. Make sure to do that. And also, if you want these instructions to be applied to all of your conversations with ChatGPT, you can go to the customized ChatGPT section and you can also provide these prompts there. This way, you do not need to provide these instructions every time you're interacting with ChatGPT, and this is gonna make your experience way more customized. Tip number 13 is to ask ChatGPT to explain a complex topic to you like you're a 10-year-old individual. I found that this is extremely helpful when it comes to understanding complex problems. And also, if you want to have additional simplicity, you can ask ChatGPT to explain something to you like you're a 5-year-old. And when you're ready, you can move up to the ladder. You can go from 5 to 10 to 15, and eventually you can ask ChatGPT to explain the topic like you're a college level student. Tip number 14 is to customize ChatGPT's appearances based on your needs. For instance, you can go to the settings and you can go to the theme and you can choose whether to use the light theme or the dark theme. My favorite one is the dark theme because it's much easier on my eyes, but you can also select the automated function so that the theme gets updated based on your system settings. Tip number 15 is to provide context to ChatGPT to augment your responses. For instance, let's say you're a lawyer and you work at a specific law firm, you can add all of this context into ChatGPT. So when it comes to their generation, it knows how the tone should look like and how professional the response should be. And also, if you want to apply these instructions and these contexts to all of your conversations with ChatGPT, you can go to the custom instructions section and you can provide these instructions. And don't worry, these instructions are not going to lead to low quality responses. They're only going to improve the responses you're going to get. Tip number 16 is to ask ChatGPT to improve your prompt. So once you provide a prompt, you can then ask ChatGPT to improve it. And once you get the improved version, ask ChatGPT what it changed and why it changed them. And then start implementing those changes into your future prompts. And again, ask for improvements. And if you continuously improve your prompts, you're going to get much better in a very short period of time. So start doing that and start early, and after a few months you're going to be a much better prompter. Tip number 17 is to get a subscription. If you use ChatGPT a lot during the day, you realize that the quality of the responses go down as you use it throughout the day. And the reason is ChatGPT automatically downgrades it due to the free limits. And if you want to use the best models for your responses, go ahead and get a subscription. Getting a subscription also enables you to get a lot more image generation quotas and also upload a lot more documents to the ChatGPT, which is very important if you are using it for professional reasons. Tip number 18 is to ask ChatGPT to ask you questions. Like human beings, ChatGPT has understanding gaps, and sometimes when you describe something, it might not understand the full picture, but it does not gonna ask you questions. Instead, it's just gonna make assumptions about your intentions without knowing your true intentions. And in order to avoid that, you can ask ChatGPT to ask you questions. So when you provide your responses, just ask it to ask a question at the end of your prompt, and then ChatGPT is going to ask about all of its assumptions before providing you with a response, and this is going to lead to a much higher quality responses. Tip number 19 is to use Canvas. You can access Canvas by clicking on the paper sign at the top of your ChatGPT conversations, and then you're going to have two split pages. On one page, you can provide your prompts, and on the second page, you can view the output from ChatGPT, and then you can edit those in the Canvas page. You can specifically select a portion of the text and you can make those portions longer or shorter, or also you can use those portions as context for your next ChatGPT prompts. Also, you can select those sections and change their level of sophistication. You can go from beginner to college level students in terms of sophistication. Also, this Canvas tool is very helpful when it comes to programming. You can have the output of your ChatGPT coding request be in the Canvas, and then you can use your code in the Canvas. You can even run your code in the Canvas. You can fix the bugs in the Canvas, and sometimes you can even translate your code into another language. Let's say your code is in Python and you can easily translate it into JavaScript. Tip number 20 is to use ChatGPT's thinking mode. When you're using the thinking mode, ChatGPT is going to spend more time thinking about your solution and analyzing your prompt, and hence you're going to get a more detailed and comprehensive response. On the other hand, using this mode is going to take longer to produce your response. And when it comes to deciding whether to use the thinking mode or not to use it, you need to think about your task. For everyday tasks, you do not need to use this mode, and I would discourage it because it's going to take much longer to get your responses. But if you're asking a very important question and you have provided ChatGPT with enough information to answer that question, I would recommend you to use the thinking mode to get a more elaborate and comprehensive response. We can access the thinking mode by clicking on the plus sign in the chat area in ChatGPT and then clicking on the thinking mode. Tip number 21 is to use the deep research tool. When you use the deep research tool, ChatGPT is gonna do a complete research on the topic of your interest. ChatGPT is gonna go through multiple sources and journals to find the information you need, and at the end, it's gonna provide you with a comprehensive research report. Many of you might think that the deep research tool and the thinking mode are the same, but that's not true. Thinking mode basically means the ChatGPT is gonna spend more time thinking about your question, while on the other hand, the deep research tool basically does a massive amount of research on your topic of interest, and it's gonna take much longer. Basically, using deep research tool might take you up to 30 minutes, while the thinking mode takes up to, let's say, only 1 minute. Tip number 22 is to ask ChatGPT to do things in a stepwise manner. So instead of providing you with a long prompt, ChatGPT can break down the prompt into a smaller portions, and this is gonna force it to rely more on logic and reasoning rather than memorization. Now, ChatGPT does this by default most of the times, but if you realize that ChatGPT is not doing this, you can basically add it to your prompt. Basically, ask the model to do things in a stepwise manner. For instance, if you want to solve a problem, ask it to give you a step-by-step solutions. Tip number 23 involves adding specific examples into your prompts. So when you require a specific output from ChatGPT, you can showcase that specific output by providing an example that demonstrates the structure you want to have. And based on my experience, doing this is way more efficient when compared to just providing a ton of instructions and assuming that ChatGPT is gonna follow those instructions. Tip number 24 is to use the image analysis feature, and this feature is specifically underlooked because you can use this tool in more situations than you assume. Basically, let's say you go to the gym and there you see an equipment, and you can basically take a picture of that equipment and upload it to ChatGPT and just ask ChatGPT, how can I use this equipment? Tip number 25 is to use the ChatGPT mobile app, and you can download this app from App Store, and basically it offers the same functionalities as the web app and the desktop app. Also, it's more convenient because you can take picture of different objects, you can highlight those objects, and you can ask questions about those specific objects. And one tool I really like is the voice input and output, which you can use for translation when you're traveling. Tip number 26 is to use custom GPTs. Custom GPTs are basically ChatGPT that have been trained on specific tasks and hence outperform ChatGPT when it comes to those tasks. And you can create your own custom GPTs, or if you want to use custom GPTs that have already been built, you can go to the custom GPT section on ChatGPT and you can explore already made GPTs. Some of these GPTs are made by large companies and some of them are just made by day-to-day users. Tip number 27 is to check for plagiarism. Sometimes ChatGPT works by bringing content from different sources and just connecting them together, and hence sometimes you might deal with cases of plagiarism. And also, if you are a student, it's very important to check for AI detection. There are tools that check for both plagiarism and AI detection at the same time. Some of these tools are CopyLeaks, ZeroGPT, and GPT-0. Use them if necessary. Tip number 28 is to ask ChatGPT to quiz you on your studying materials. When I was at the school, I would always ask my friends to quiz me on what we are studying, and you can do the same thing with ChatGPT. Just upload your documents and ask ChatGPT to quiz you on the materials. This way you don't need to ask your friends all the time. Also, you can just provide the topic of your interest and ask ChatGPT to quiz you on this topic. Tip number 29 is to not ask ChatGPT to completely rewrite your essays. Instead, you can ask it to only fix grammar and spelling issues. When you're editing your text with ChatGPT, it tends to overwrite all of your tone and rewrite your essays. But this might lead to AI detection, and universities, schools, and some professional environments might penalize you for that. So in order to avoid it, you can ask ChatGPT to only fix your errors and spelling issues. This way you can save your own tone while having an error-free essay. Our last tip for today is to use DALL-E for image generation. Like many other large language models, ChatGPT can also produce images, and it does so using DALL-E. So the only thing you gotta do is to describe your image, and DALL-E is gonna produce it for you. My personal tip for you is to be as descriptive as possible and provide as many details as you can to get the best results possible. That's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed our 30 tips. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and also let me know if you have any questions in the comment sections.